Hey, good morning. Welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. It's Sunday morning. I'm on my own today because everybody's gone off to church and I have work to do. So here I am. Oh gosh, I'm looking at this temporary wiring that I've got here every day. I come out and I plug my light in just because I like it to be shining bright. There it is. It actually took a plunge, took a test flight down to the floor and broke off, smashed the cover on that, but it's still working. So here we are. This is how far we are. I did my trial. I need to go over and do the detail work on this now and detail that in a little better. And then I got the other pillars to go. Did a lot of work in the dining area and on painting in here. Still got some white painting to go over a lot, and detail stuff like up in here. Look, that has to be done, as does this too. So probably I will be slipping some fillets of plywood in there and gluing it in, and then I'll paint it the same color. So after that, see, I'm really lacking on stuff that I just can't find here for filling in these gaps. Yes, I know, lots of suggestions about wood filler that I can make from sawdust and glue. I do know about those things. Can't reach the age of 80 and not know that you can make filler out of glue and sawdust. But it's a matter of convenience, speed, fiddling about. Still have painting up there to do, if you can see it. And I'll show you, had to go out yesterday. There's always, if you try to, every time I try to save money, I will end up spending money, and probably spending more money. Yesterday, I did say in one of my videos very recently that my drill crapped out. Now when I looked at it with my unskilled eyes, it looked as if the chuck had stopped working. What had happened is that those jaws which clamp onto the fitting there had ceased to clamp. They didn't move in or out. They were just jammed inside. So just in order to be able to replace it, which I did find a replacement, I took it into Alturas, but the guy there is not a technical guy. He did try to help me, but the keyless chuck which they had looked as if it would fit, but it was about 1700 pesos. I didn't want to buy it because they won't take it back, so I said I'll come back when I can get this one off and we can compare it. Well, I went to my friend Nestor, the mechanic that is much maligned because his skill is limited, and he fiddled about with it and he got the drill working again. So it's all working again. Then I got back yesterday, and of course it's a flat back because it hasn't been working for a while. So on charge, but now it's on charge and I'll be able to go ahead and fit some of these panels which I've put in by hand, screwed in by hand. It's a very humble way of doing it. You hammer the screw in until it's only got about half of its travel to go. These are wood. These are not wood screws. These are metal self-tapping. Do have a very sharp point, but not as good as the ones that I could get in America, which, if you picked up a handful of those screws that I could get in America, even though they're made in China, apologies to America, they'd actually stick to your fingers because the points were so sharp and they would go right into that metal stud so beautifully. Well, these don't do it quite so beautifully, as I'll show you. See, that is what they count as being self-tapping into metal. It's not the drywall screw that I would always use. That's what I would have used had I been in the States. But anyway, I got some stuff cut before I was overcome by the heat. Such is life. So I got them part fixed. I'll go in there and fix again, and then I got fixing to do here. I got all the plywood that I need for the walls is downstairs. I brought it in a little bit there where the silver is showing, and then I'm going to put in the ceiling. But before I can put any more of this paneling up, I have to go in and block off here. Now the tape isn't there to hold it in. Tape is there to hold it in while the glue takes hold. So you just tape it up, but I'll leave the tape on because it doesn't make any difference. It's going to be covered by the panel, as you can see here. Now this was all put in by hand, all of the screws by hand, but I'll go over those just in case they're not actually in. If they're still poking the head up, that's no good. When you paint it, it won't look any good. Anyway, and more to go over there. Here I've got the, as you can see, got the insulation in, and that's all in and found here. Reminded me of an incomplete job. Haven't got any outside cladding here, so we're looking out to the world. So all of this along about this level is without cladding on the outside, as you can see there, look. So I'm still going to clad, still going to take it up to here, block this off, clad it, and then I will have to get Rado to go up. I'll show him how to use the drill, and in conjunction with the what's the word I'm looking for, the riveter. I've got the riveter up here, and he'll have to rivet those in for me. It's not a huge job and it's not that difficult. So this is my state of play here today. As you can see, those are the bits that I got from the bed. I took the bed to pieces because I intend to do something totally different. Why would I not do something different when I have the chance to? So we did get quite a bit of paneling done yesterday. That's one there, another 8x4 there, another 8x4, so 3.5 were done yesterday. Today I'm going to head out, seeing if I can get all of this metal here, look, and all of this will have to be done more. We kind of got it to a point where we could live in it, and because of the mild climate and everything, you can do that here. You can live in a tent out here, you can live under a tarpaulin out here, and that's really what we did. So all of this ceiling will all be covered in once, well, now that that's covered there, look, but the actual ceiling itself will come to here. So can I show you or simulate that? It will actually come down like this. Excuse the dizzy making. See, that's going to be the level that the new ceiling is at, like that, which means that this beam, unfortunately, will still be showing. But for what I intend to do on the suspended part of the ceiling, which would be over the bed, which is in line with the window, and we'll come out to about, well, what are we looking at, just over 6 feet, come out to here, so it will be in line with this beam here, and I probably will do a 4-poster, something that is nice. So there we are, that's the big plan. The small plan, which is for today, is to get that gap up there sealed off. If I could do the whole thing, boy, I would consider that I'd done a good day's work. If I could do all of that, cutting, gluing, taping, and getting all of that fitted in would be a good day's work. But in this heat anyway, obviously you can't feel the heat, but I got a fan there which is trying valiantly to keep things a little cool, and we got the window here, but the window is that's relatively cool air that's coming in now, a relatively cool breeze, but it's wafting across this red hot tin roof, which we've used everywhere, of course, because it's cheap, or cheaper. So there we are. That's my little pan around. Had to cut down my little makeshift two-step step and workbench so that I could get it up the stairs. It wouldn't go in up there. So at some point we would like to move into the house, which would mean I'll have to do the final detail work here. Maybe, I don't think I will do that ceiling just yet, but it depends how easy I find it to do this ceiling. Of course, with this ceiling, it's actually a vaulted ceiling, obviously, so I'm going to have to make up a scaffolding that will give me the ability to actually put the new ceiling in. But all things are possible, and I can do that if we are living happily over here and Beth has her nice workstation, as will I, and then we'll see what happens after that. The big thing will be when we move over here is that I would like to have a working sink and a kitchen. No matter how primitive, we can have a kitchen of some sorts, and then start eating a different, shall we say, a different diet is what I would be heading for. Personally favour the juicer for 2 meals a day, and then maybe 1 meal cooked, which we would have downstairs with Nanai. I like to eat as a family in Nanai's house with Nanai and Vetvik and Teleklik, and I like us to eat down there on that. Alright, thank you for taking interest, and we'll be back. Bye for now.